Welcome to the Home Like Stories channel. Don't forget to subscribe. It will be interesting. And we begin.
It all started with a phone call I wasn't expecting. I had just come back from work, exhausted from another long shift, when my phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. The number was unknown, but something in my gut told me to answer. Hello. There was silence on the other end, followed by heavy breathing. My first instinct was to hang up, assuming it was some prank caller. But before I could, a voice, barely above a whisper, spoke. You need to listen very carefully. My stomach tightened. Something about the tone of the voice sent a chill down my spine. It wasn't just the urgency. It was the fear laced in those words. Who is this? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. There's no time. You have to leave your house. Now. I let out a nervous chuckle. Is this some kind of joke? The breathing on the other end grew ragged. Look outside. Tell me what you see. Against my better judgment, I walked to the window and pulled back the curtain. At first, I saw nothing unusual, just the empty street bathed in the dim glow of the streetlights. But then my eyes landed on a figure standing just beyond the reach of the light, motionless. My breath hitched. The figure wasn't moving, but I could feel their gaze locked onto me. I see someone, I whispered. Then you're already in danger. A deep, primal fear settled in my chest. I wanted to believe this was all some elaborate prank, but my instinct screamed otherwise. What do they want? I asked, stepping away from the window. They've been watching you for a long time, the voice said, and they won't stop until they get what they came for. A cold sweat broke out on my skin. And what is that? There was a pause before the voice spoke again. You. My heart slammed against my ribs. Who are you? How do you know this? I don't have time to explain, the voice said. But if you want to survive, you need to leave. Now. I hesitated, my mind racing. If this was a prank, it was incredibly elaborate. But if it wasn't, if this person was telling the truth, I was in serious trouble. Then came a knock at the door. I nearly jumped out of my skin. My phone almost slipped from my grip as my hand shook. Don't answer it, the voice warned. Another knock, louder this time. My mind screamed at me to move, but I was frozen in place. Listen to me, the voice continued. There's a back door. Go through it and run. Whatever you do, don't look back. The knocking turned into pounding. Whoever was at the door was growing impatient. Something inside me snapped, and I bolted. I grabbed my car keys, flung open the back door, and ran like hell. The cold night air stung my lungs as I sprinted down the driveway toward my car parked on the street. My hands fumbled with the keys as I reached the driver's side door. Then I heard it, the sound of my front door crashing open. Panic surged through me as I yanked open my car door, threw myself inside, and locked it. I didn't dare look up as I started the engine, my breath coming in ragged gasps. Then, just as I was about to peel out of there, I did the one thing I wasn't supposed to do. I looked back. The figure was closer now. Too close. I didn't wait to see what happened next. My foot slammed on the gas, and my tires screeched against the pavement as I sped away. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. As I drove, my mind raced with questions. Who was the caller? How did they know what was happening? And most terrifying of all, who was the person that had been watching me? I never found out. I drove until I was miles away from home, then checked into the first motel I found. I didn't sleep that night. The image of that dark figure standing outside my house was burned into my mind. The next day, I went back with the police. My front door was still wide open. The frame splintered from where it had been forced in, but nothing was taken. No valuables, no electronics, nothing. Just one thing was left behind. sitting on my kitchen counter where my phone had been the night before. A single black glove. To this day, I don't know who was watching me or what they wanted. I moved out of that house soon after, but I never stopped looking over my shoulder. And sometimes, late at night, I still get phone calls from an unknown number. I never answer.
Thanks for watching and listening. Don't forget to subscribe.